Welcome back this morning. In the wrestling ring, Becky Lynch, also known as The Man. She's known for her major WWE records, like being a part of the first women's main event in WrestleMania history, and for being a Triple Crown champion.
But we're learning more about her in Rebecca Quinn, a.k.a. Becky's new memoir. It's called Becky Lynch, The Man, Not Your Average Girl, on her both
Not your average.
Not your average girl, right, in her life in and out of the ring. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this for just a moment. You talk about, it kind of encompasses your whole life. If there was a message that you wanted to share the most, what would that be, considering your journey?
I would say overcoming the odds and believing in yourself. I think that's what I've struggled with the most on my journey, is doubting myself or having other people doubt me, and rising above it and accomplishing things that people never thought I would. And that's the whole message behind being average, because I was born very average. You know, there was nothing remarkable about me. And I was born in Dublin, and I had this dream of becoming a main eventer in WWE, and that was, how are you going to get there? And I did.
Wow, that is
Look at
true.
you now. I find it interesting because you were drawn to wrestling at a young age.
Yeah.
But then you sort of did other things. You were a flight attendant. You went to acting school before you came back to wrestling. How would you say those experiences helped you to get where you are now?
I would say it grounded me, because I started wrestling when I was 15, and by the time I was 18, I was living in Canada. I was main eventing in Japan. I was wrestling around America, around Europe, and around 19, I kind of started to lose the run of myself. And I got a big head, and it was too much about the ego. And then when I got really lost and I dropped out of wrestling, and I didn't think that what I dreamed of was possible, because at the time it was the mud wrestling matches and the bra and panties, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be seen as a main eventer.
Yeah.
And so I stepped away, and I was always thinking about wrestling in the back of my head, but I was searching for that other dream. I was like, what is that other dream that's going to fulfill me the way that wrestling did? And there was nothing. And there was nothing. And it was only because I blagged my way onto a stunt set on the show The Vikings.
Yeah.
They were looking for stunt people. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can do stunts.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know how to do stunts. but I knew how to wrestle. So I went down to a wrestling school. And the guy that was teaching the wrestling class was like, you still got it. Would you think about going for a WWE tryout? Because I think you'd get it. And like that, it was like the floodgates opened. For 7 years. It was 7 years since I left wrestling. And I felt like I was searching, trying to figure it out. And all of a sudden, I was pulled, and I knew this was right.
That's awesome.
I mean, the process of writing a book like this, did you find the process cathartic, or how would you describe the process?
The process was everything. It was cathartic, and it was frustrating, and it was overwhelming. But you would get into those flow states where I loved it, and you couldn't get me out of it. And the thing was, I never had a process, you know? Like, I wasn't getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was writing on red eyes, and
When it came to you.
Or when my child was watching Toy Story, I was sitting I was at the playground.
I love that. Speaking of which, so WrestleMania is coming up.
Yes.
So you're going to go for another championship. But I heard your daughter is in on this one now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
How old is she now?
She is 3 years old.
She's 3 years old?
Wow.
3 years Does she understand what mommy is doing? Yes.
Daddy, too.
Yeah. Where's that fun little, is this a little video of your daughter helping you prepare?
Yeah, this is her. This is her laying down the law.
Look at that.
We call her Mob Boss Rube because she runs a tight ship. Yeah.
There you go. I love the tracksuit, by the way. That's a great look.
So cute.
Does she understand what I do? Kind of. But she thinks that all people, when they go to work, get boo-boos.
Yeah.
And so I think she's got a little bit of anxiety that she's going to grow up and go to work and get some boo-boos.
You'll make it work. Well, Becky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, the book is called Becky Lynch, The Man, Not Your Average Girl, is out today. And you can catch Becky in WrestleMania XL live exclusively on Peacock on April 6th and 7th.
That's a big deal.
It is. Good luck.